Don't be don't be this stupid, black people. And humans in general. Don't be this stupid. Today's conversation comes from love. My point of view is based in love to LaRussell and anybody else that may fit the profile of. But this is tough love. Because this is how I was raised. Don't be stupid. Okay? Don't be stupid. Don't be this stupid. So what we gonna do is I tried not to talk about this. I tried, but a lot of y'all inboxed me. I did the Salute to Culture United. We talked about this on their show. But I like LaRussell's movement, so I tried my best not to be critical of him. And y'all saw me, I was supportive of him when he said what he had to say about Lil Wayne because he was 100% right. But with that being said, gotta point out when it's some bullshit, all right? We're gonna talk about that, and then after that, we're gonna talk about the Somalis had I just saw a story where they, for the most part, hijacked their own version of the March on Selma and marched for their own shit. So I guess the Selma March is now a multicultural immigrant march. I don't know. But we're gonna talk about that and a few other things today. Give me like a 1 minute. I forgot I had this window over here open with my air conditioner on. Let me close these windows and turn my air conditioner on, and we will get started. right, we here. We are here. We are here. What's up, y'all? Let me put some good background music on, and then let's get started. All right, let's get started. Welcome, everybody. Make sure you go to bamfamilytree.org to be a part of what I got going on with my foundation. Be a part of the movement, man. We document this black American history. We're still finishing the documentary up on the gospel roots of Black American history. We've been Hassan and I, we've been working on that now for 2 years. We've been moving as fast as the funding is coming, y'all. So I appreciate y'all, everyone who's donated so far. But we moving, and we self-financing the rest. So, but we getting that out. But now your donations can be tax deductible because we are 501(c) now. So if you want to donate to the movement, do that. BAMFamilyTree.org. Incense and ashtrays. I'll be doing a new article on incense and ashtrays this week. Went to go see my this young cat, Verdius Miller, on piano. Dope young musician. I'll be doing a write-up on his show real soon over on incenseandashtrays.com. And in the meantime, rest in peace to Chuck Norris. Rest in peace, Chuck Norris. This one hits home a little bit because he has red hair, like my dad. And he was my dad's karate teacher. I remember when these Chuck Norris movies used to come on when we was a kid. I remember my uncle Michael's like, you know Chuck Norris was your daddy's karate teacher, right? I was like, for real? And my dad told me this when I was like 4 or 5. Chuck Norris taught my dad and my uncles how to whoop ass. He had a dojo over off Wilshire in the late 60s, early 70s before he became a mega movie star. So yeah, Chuck Norris is who got my dad to be a black belt and ass kicking, and my uncles. And they used to go around town whooping ass. I remember y'all know stories of my Uncle Fred. Y'all know the Uncle Fred stories. No, he's the one that parked the bus to whoop somebody's ass. I love Fred. He was also one of the ones who learned under Chuck Norris. And as soon as he got his brown belt, like Uncle Fred could not stand Jim Kelly. He used to be like, who this pretty motherfucker think he is? I'll whoop that nigga's ass. So Jim Kelly's a black belt, and my Uncle Fred's a brown belt, and Uncle Fred is chasing whatever tournament Jim Kelly would sign up for. My Uncle Fred was trying to sign up for that tournament too, so he could whoop Jim Kelly's ass. All the way from being a brown belt. I don't think he and Jim Kelly they never got in the competitions. They never met up. But for a few years, he was chasing Jim Kelly around. And so I grew up as a child on these stories of my dad and my uncles going to karate practice under Chuck Norris. So rest in peace to Chuck Norris. You taught my father how to whoop ass. And my dad used that ass whooping skills to get through the 70s in South Central Los Angeles. You did? So rest in peace. I know some of y'all want to go on to the. I didn't follow. One thing about Chuck Norris, I didn't follow his career too close after the 80s, after the 90s, really. You know, I never got into Walker, Texas Ranger. I never got in there. You know, he had his political views and didn't give a fuck. You know what I mean? I expect white men to lean Republican, especially if they got money and have that. So that didn't bother me. All I know is Chuck Norris taught my dad how to whoop ass. So rest in peace, Chuck Norris. And me and my dad close, so Pops before everything. You dig what I'm saying? Pops before everything. Matter of fact, when I'm done today, I'm done with this show. I'm gonna call my dad. We ain't talked in a couple days. Like, what the hell's going on, man? I ain't talked to my dad since like Wednesday. Gotta call him up. I gotta call my dad up. Like, man, how you doing, man? With your with your sensei? How you feel about your sensei? I'm gonna ask my dad that. I should have asked him that before we started. Yeah, Fitz speak. Uncle Fred said got you. Uncle Fred had no chill. None. I told y'all Uncle Fred, somebody had said some fuck shit to him, and he told him, it's like, they said the way the story goes, somebody said some fuck shit to him like in 72. And he said, all right, next time I see you, I'm whooping your ass. Uncle Fred didn't see that dude again until 1982, 10 years later. And what did he do? Soon as he saw him, pow! And whooped his ass. My dad, I heard that story again at one of my dad's friends' funerals last December. Uncle Moon died. And my dad was there. We at the funeral, they're telling all the old stories. They're like, remember when Fred whooped his ass after 10 years? And come to find out, the dude whose ass he whooped ended up getting on crack. Well, he got on crack, and then he ended up doing some heinous shit. So that ass whooping Uncle Fred gave him was deserving. Because that dude that Uncle Fred whooped on ended up getting on crack and like murdering somebody. Yeah, like my dad didn't even know that. We heard that part of the story at the funeral from one of their other childhood friends. He was like, you know that dude ended up murdering his wife in Vegas. We was like, huh? Oh shit, didn't know all that. All we knew is Uncle Fred said, next time I see you, I'm whooping your ass. And he did, 10 years later. Anyway, let's get into it. Welcome, chat room. Thank y'all for joining. Everybody up in here, we straight? Because we gonna get into this LaRussell story. Because this nigga sounded dumb as hell. And I want to talk to the young brother, at least through here. You know? Well, welcome everybody in the chat. Amir, Big Daddy Kev, Mr. Smoke, Feeder Speak, C. Vessi. What's up, Naga Influence? What's up, everybody that's up here? Yeah, rest in peace, Jim Kelly also. Yeah, rest in peace to Jim Kelly also. So, I can't get to everybody because I've been talking for a while. Y'all been talking for a while. So I can't get to everybody. But thank all y'all for joining, all right? All right, so let's get into it. Let's dive into what we're talking about today. For those of you who don't know, rapper LaRussell, he's out of Oakland. He has a cult following, and his following is of young children. So to give you a context as to what we're going to talk about when it comes to him, he has a cult following of mostly children and young adults and people and family members and old people. And if you don't know who he is, that's fine. Most people don't. But he has enough people who know who he is that they buy. He's always, I sold 30,000 albums. He's a very fun-loving Oakland brother. You know what I mean? Bay Area. I don't know Oakland. You Oakland niggas, hey, Bay Area. I'm just going to say Bay Area because y'all be like, no, he's from Vallejo. I'm like, nigga, I don't know the difference between Oakland, Vallejo, Stockton, all that shit's up north, goddammit. I know Stockton kind of far away, but you get what I'm saying. You niggas get real crunk about which part of the bay somebody come from, and I don't want none of you Oakland niggas heat, all right? I respect everybody up there. It's hard for me to respect Sacramento, though, because my Lakers and the Kings just don't never. Anyway, but salute to Sacramento, too. But anyway, that's the background of LaRussell. He's a rapper that has a following, and he's a fun rapper, you know. And so he's a bubblegum kind of rapper, but we need bubblegum. We need fun. We need that. He signed with a distribution deal with Jay-Z's Rock Nation recently, and that set off a firestorm because a lot of people are mad because he's Mr. King Independent, And people are mad that he signed with Jay-Z. And I told people, look, at the end of the day, distribution is distribution. And most artists are going to run up into a point to where they're going to need a wider distribution net. And so I wasn't too mad at the young bull for signing a distribution deal. That right there, he was right. Most people are stupid. So more people to see you sign with Jay-Z, and not just people are stupid. You got these podcasts like the Joe Budden podcast and these other podcasts that talk a bunch of dumb shit. So they really put dumb shit in people's minds because people have whatever issues they have with Jay-Z or whatever. I got my issues with the way Jay-Z does business, but I know I'm not going to be an idiot and lie to y'all and draw perception in people's minds because of how Jay-Z does business. So most of these hip-hop podcasts did a really good job of making people even more stupid by not explaining that he just had as a distribution deal. Okay? Still independent artist, distribution deal, but that pissed a lot of people off when he did that, which that's those people's problem. You got the choice to do what you want. Then he came out a couple weeks later, and we covered this about a month ago when he said something about Lil Wayne and said Lil Wayne basically wasn't talking about shit. And that's true. Now, people got mad that it came from the Russell. People got mad that he's from the Bay, and they're saying that, okay, maybe you should check your backyard first. I don't believe in that bullshit because black music is black music. The country's my backyard. If I'm from LA and we got to say some shit about New York or Philadelphia or New Orleans or Houston or even my own backyard, LA, anybody in the country got rights to say it. If there's some bullshit going on in LA, with LA rappers, if somebody want to criticize the game and they from New Orleans, I'm not going to stand in the way because they from New Orleans. The point is, did you make a good point? That's all that matters. Was your point valid? We are one culture as black Americans. We should be able to check other regions of black America because this is our fine art. And it's only you dumb hip-hop niggas that made it to where, oh no, you from Chicago. You can't say anything about Memphis because you from Chicago. Nigga, you're from the United States and your great-great-grannies lived here, motherfucker. You got the right. Okay? The same way jazz, funk, bebop, swing, rhythm and blues, rock and roll, and every other form of music we've ever created. So I had an issue with that. The substance of what he was saying about Lil Wayne was right when you get past all that stupid-ass regional beefing. And I was with him. Then he did this rhyme, and I had to be like, let me play it for you. Let me play it for you. And yeah, you listen and you judge for yourself.
I made this record and I sent it off to my engineer, and he calls me. He said, man, you probably shouldn't put this out. I said, why? What the hell happened? He said, you know, you talking about Epstein, there's a lot of shit going on. And I said, thank you for calling me. I'm finna drop this. That's exactly why we need it. Because everybody sit and be silent. And the goal of an artist is to express the times and discuss, say all the things that nobody else want to say or know how to say. I'm not perfect. And neither is the president. Was guiltier than a nigga hiding evidence. You can't be mad that they heated if you don't let them vent. Even the devil was heaven sent. Even Malcolm was heaven sent. Even Martin was heaven sent. Even Kanye was heaven sent. We all heaven sent. Donald too. We all heaven sent. Epstein too. We all heaven sent. Adolf too. We all heaven sent. Even you. We all heaven sent.
This is what I mean by don't be that dumb. First off, he said heaven sent. He didn't say these people were created by God and we're all God's children. And we are. You know, we are all created by God. This dude specified heaven. And he put Malcolm X and Martin Luther King in the same bracket as Epstein, Adolf, and Trump. I said this on Culture United, and y'all go check out that broadcast that he did on the Company Man channel that we did. Why black people? Why do we? Why do you put King and X against anybody? They have no equals. A. Philip Randolph has no equal. George Washington Carver has no equal. Why would you put our greatest next to those degenerates? That's what's stupid. That's what people are mad at. Why would you put them in the same sentence? Why couldn't you use goddamn Donald Trump and what's his name? Christopher Dorner. Use Christopher Dorner. Christopher Dorner was heaven sent. Why would you put King? This is the issue, black people. And it's not just the civil rights icons. It's the same in hip hop and in sports. We've created so many giant greats. When someone reaches a certain plateau of greatness, you polish their bust and put it on a shelf to never be fucked with and compared to. You don't compare King with mere mortals, not with all the stuff that he had to go against. And you could say, and any nigga here said, well, I don't like King because this point of view. Unless you got a book this fucking thick written on you about how the government attempted to assassinate you and ultimately did assassinate you, unless you got something this thick with all of these government documents on your whole life, no matter how you feel about King, you shut the fuck up. Malcolm X, you polish people up and you put Dick Gregory, you can't compare these people. And you definitely don't put them next to Epstein and say Epstein was sent from heaven? So heaven created Epstein and not hell? All the hell he put people through? And you think he came from heaven? If you believe in God, Mr. LaRussell, heaven and hell were both created by God. Now that's true if you believe in that particular doctrine. Well, if both were created from God, that means some came from hell. Not everybody came from heaven. Some was sent there from hell. Some people the goddamn devil created and speak to. For those of you who believe in that level of doctrine. Why would you put them in heaven? That was dumb as hell. And this is what makes it worse. So then LaRussell goes on and he goes in and he puts out this tweet. He said, this is my final statement on the bullshit. This is where he gets stupid. Okay, he could have messed the lyric up and said, maybe I meant something else. Fine. This is where he gets dumb. This is my final statement on the bullshit. The selective outrage and fake righteousness is a joke. It's always us. Now he wants to speak and wag his finger to black people. LaRussell, you compare black icons that we hold dearly and you put them in a phrase in a song with Epstein. You put them on a song with Epstein, our icons. So if you use our icons in a way like that, Yes, black people are going to speak up. Yes, yes. Yes, 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 yes. Yes, yes. That's gonna happen, brother. And if y'all notice, I'm from the West Coast. You ain't seen me say nothing about can't nobody from the East Coast check LaRussell. You don't know what it is. Can't nobody from the South correct LaRussell. Let the West Coast handle it. No, I'm not a fucking idiot like a lot of y'all. Dr. King and X were the heroes of black people. So black Americans, wherever you stand, from Maine to San Diego, Seattle to Miami, and all points in between, you have the right to speak up and say something. He said it's always us. Y'all, first he says it's always us. Then he says y'all being complicit in supporting serial killers, murderers, drug dealers, pimps, and niggas destroying their community for years. But me saying God made me and he also made these sick niggas is where the line is drawn. Cut it out. No, what you mean, y'all? Your fan base is black, brother. Seems to be the issue when people get really, really big. They want to start wagging their finger at black people. How are we being complicit with supporting serial killers and murderers? How? And we're not a monolith. It's 45 million of us. We're a very diverse group of people. Personally, I don't listen to murder music. Never have. I don't listen to drug dealer music. Never have. I listen to some pimping music. Too Short. Ain't nothing like pimping, just let it roll. Motherfucker shit, goddamn asshole. Ain't nothing like pimping, now you know. But that ain't got nothing to do with using our heroes. Ain't nobody saying ain't nothing like pimping. Martin Luther King got one of my hoes. Ain't nobody rapping about singing they hoes to Martin Luther, selling they hoes to Martin Luther King. You know? I ain't gonna lie though. Yeah, yep, I listen to this. And I ain't got nothing to do with what you saying.
Ain't nothing like pimping, just let it roll. Motherfucking shit, goddamn asshole. Ain't nothing like pimping, just...
That's my shit right there, boy. Matter of fact, as soon as I'm done with this, that's what I'm gonna be playing. Yep. But Too Short wasn't saying, he wasn't talking about pimping Mother Mary. We all know they said Mary Magdalene and Jesus met with the harlots at the well. Wasn't nobody rap talking about supporting no music about goddamn Too Short, Snoop Dogg pimping the lady at the well that Jesus met? You put the heroes with them. Hey, I still got the CD too. Yeah, Larry, you said shit to my face. It's gonna be the last day you got some teeth, nigga. Say that to my face, Larry. Be the last time you talk. You gonna have to walk. I'll knock your ass out, and you gonna be laid in chalk. Damn, I messed that rhyme up. Fuck. I knew what I wanted to say, but damn it, Larry, fuck you. I fucked that rhyme up, but whatever. I'll still kick your ass. Now, back to when we talking about LaRussell. Sorry for that distraction I got from Larry's whole ass. Sorry, chat room. Oh, I got a super chat up in here. Felix Speaks, I appreciate that. It says, salute. This is when the seeking attention goes left. 100. Man, so he's checking black people and telling us to cut it out. If you're gonna be outraged about it all. No, that would be called autism, brother. Autism is when you don't have any filters and you can't filter one from the next. That's autism. We have filters. There's no way people could be enraged by it all. If Americans were enraged by it all, most of us would die by the time we're 21, because there's a whole lot to be enraged in this sick ass country. But if you notice, Brother LaRussell, Epstein has been a very, 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 very hot topic. And there has been a lot of rage over him. And that's why you use him in a rap. Problem is, you thought you ate. You thought you said something and you didn't. See, let me tell y'all something about, because it's one thing to not say anything, but let me just say this. You don't have to be profound. Speaking up and talking about the conditions and what's going on in society, that's not for everybody. If you don't have the intelligence to feel the temperature of society, feel what's going on around, if you don't have that, it's best just to not say anything. Like, it's okay to not talk politics. It's okay to not talk about what's going on. You don't have to. But if you're going to talk about what's going on, be aware of temperament, mood, temperature, feel. LaRussell, you're a musician. Musicians are supposed to feel the environment. Feel what's going on. Feel how your people feel about these people. He said, if you're going to be outraged about it all, then turn the murder music off and every other detrimental form of art you consume. No. I personally, look, you talking, if I'm speaking from a personal point of view, I don't listen to murder music and I was still offended. I'm one of the few niggas in this shit smiling and putting good into the ecosystem. Yes, that's why you don't bring up Epstein around children, nigga. You don't equate King with Epstein. He said, I'm going to keep saying and doing what I want with my art because I'm a fucking artist. Y'all can keep being fake outraged and be complicit with everything else. So right there, you saw him try to do this straw argument. Let's go ahead and grab a straw argument that ain't got nothing to do with nothing. Ain't got nothing to do with what nobody talking about. And let's argue that point of view and not what the people are saying. Now I want y'all to see this interview that he did. But first, go to incensandashtrays.com, bookmark the blog. I'm about to do that's what I need to do. I need to do a mailer list. I need a mailer list for y'all to be. But if you go to DewanB.com and sign up and register, this is the mailing list that I use. Anyway, if you're on here, you'll be part of my email list. Go to DewanB.com. Go to the shop. Get your Black American Music Family Tree. And then also go to bamfamilytree.org for the foundation. The Black American Music Family Tree Historical Foundation. Now let's go here. I want y'all to check out this interview that LaRussell did yesterday. And let's go deeper into this brother's thoughts. That's real talk, my dresser. Dummy should just admit with the lyric that he doubles down. If Russell just said, you know what, I messed up. People would have forgave him because we know he's silly. And I appreciated Russell for doing his style of music, but no, sir. You better watch how you use our icons. And that's one thing I love about where black people are standing right now, where we are right now as a people. I'm loving where we standing right now as a people. We are not allowing people to just use and misuse our heroes. We've been stopping tethers from doing that. You think we're gonna let a homegrown black American do it? And this for you people who always go around, people like 19 Keys. Yeah, he's talking about the tethers. Nigga, we checking our own people too who misuse our heroes. People act like we just exclusively talk about tethers. Hell no. Don't disrespect black people no matter what color you are. Zavon Scott, good evening. Appreciate the super chat. I don't give a damn what color you are. Tether, non-tether, white, black, Asian, Latino. Do not disrespect our greats. Give a fuck where you come from. It ain't personal. It ain't personal. Just don't fuck up. Now let's listen to this.
A lot of people are, I wouldn't say they're offended as much. I would say a lot of people, for whatever reason, it feels like are off-put by the Heaven Sent song.
Yeah, I think people mistake what I'm saying for me like being complicit.
Right.
Like they think it was me showing support, but they didn't think it was me showing support to Martin, Malcolm, and Kanye, who I also mentioned. They just think it was me showing support to him, and being
No, people did not think you were showing support. People thought that you sounded stupid. I didn't. Did y'all, chat room, did y'all think he was showing support? I didn't think he was supporting. I just thought, nigga, just don't draw that false equivalence. But I could tell this, and I'm not I don't want to be too critical of this young man because he's had a bright career. And I think I don't want to shade all that he's done to this point. I don't want to shade all he's done to this point. I just want to bring correction the old school way. And let me tell you another thing about the old school way, y'all. This is music. And music has always been very, 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 very blunt. I come from the old school where when you mess up musically, there's no sugarcoating anything. Most of y'all didn't see my interview I did with Mark because it only had like 500 views. I don't know how I posted a video on Sunday, and I got more people in the live right now that saw that whole goddamn video, and it's been up for a week. What's up, y'all? Where y'all at? Go check out my interview with Mark Scarborough, son of Skip Scarborough. But we talked about my days coming up in church, and in music, one thing about Black Americans is we take our music very serious. Yes, we do. And when something's out of pocket, we say something. I want people to remember, we've never not said anything. Snoop Dogg didn't get to smoke weed on record without us complaining. It was at the end of the day, it was the corporations that won that ultimately continued to put stuff out to where at the wire just be like, fuck it. But from Snoop being protested, Tupac was protested, Lil' Kim, people didn't like Lil' Kim when she came out. There was always a strong contingent of black people that had issue with Foxy Brown and Lil' Kim. I remember when Lil' Kim's album cover, I think it was 96 or 97, it was on these boards just outside of Angela's funeral home on Crenshaw. I forgot, it was some building that was next to it that it was like the riots, they hadn't rebuilt what was next to Angela's funeral home. And it was some Lil' Kim, Foxy Brown album covers. And people was like, why? What the fuck is this? there's always been a strong segment of resistance within Black America towards this music that the industry's been putting out on us. There's always been a resistance. Hell, there was a resistance to Aretha Franklin when she went R&B. Aretha Franklin was gospel. So when she decided to go R&B, when Aretha Franklin decided to jump in between R&B and gospel, Aretha Franklin and Al Green, they both took a lot of heat for being in both worlds. So let's not act like this is anything new. A strong contingent of Black people stepping up and speaking out against. We spoke out against WAP when that bullshit dropped in 2020. Most Black people don't fuck with Cardi B. Her audience is international. Is a mix. Is a mixture, hodgepodge of a little bit of everybody. Most Black people don't fuck with no damn Nicki Minaj. Now, at least, they did at one point they did. But they definitely didn't mess with no Cardi B. So this is not even understanding your culture. This is why I always encourage rappers, musicians, comedians, get more in touch with your culture, man. Like, culture is something as Black Americans we kind of just take for granted. We don't really analyze our culture. Or we see our culture through the eyes of the white supremacists. Or we'll take something that the white supremacist media elevates and say, that's what y'all want. If we really wanted Cardi B, would it have taken, 15 years of her in our eye to finally get a national tour? 15 years including her reality TV days, but musically, she's been in music since 2016. Would it have taken 10 years for her to get that tour if we were really into her like that? It took 10 years for her to get the stadium tour because that's 10 years of us being force-fed that propaganda. We ain't with that shit. You better pay attention to your culture, Black people, especially Black artists. Especially to the artists. Because whatever artist comes up and speaks the language of the culture, that's going to be your next big time artist. Kendrick spoke to the language of the culture with They Not Like Us. He released it at a time the FBA movement got real strong. The grassroots pushed it. Now everybody else think that's about them. Let's keep going.
Complicit in his behavior, and that's like the furthest thing from the truth. You know, any nigga who know me, I think niggas like Trump and Epstein deserve the worst.
For sure.
But it's also like the art in writing that song. It's like niggas who do this know when you start writing, like words come to you. You know, this isn't like an intent. No one sits down like, I'm gonna write about Epstein. Right. It's just like what comes to you. And then that realization was like, damn, God made a nigga like Martin Luther King who did so much and changed the world. And
I know how writing works, brother. And yes, writing is most definitely like production. It's a spiritual transmission. This stuff comes from spirit. It does. But you said from heaven. Now in the interview, you just said from God. You see how he changed it up? That's why when you write, you need revisions to what you write. Nah, this lyric ain't right. Sometimes it takes a couple months to get the right lyric to go into a spot. Sometimes that lyric comes right away. But that's why your producer said don't release it, because the lyric wasn't right yet. The lyric isn't always right away. Sometimes you just get downloaded with the idea, and then now you got to go into revisions. Oh no, rewrite that. Put that here instead of there. And then you may get some help. Smokey Robinson talks about that all the time at Motown. He said at Motown, everybody was helping everybody. You might have said Stevie Wonder may have come into the studio and said, no, put the chorus, the first line of the chorus, throw that in the verse and throw that word out, throw that verse out. And then Marvin Gaye would come in and say, no, maybe you should take it up a half step and sing it this way and phrase it that way. And then Melvin from the Temptations will come in and sing background for you. That's what writing is. Just because it comes through you don't mean it's right yet. And that's why music is a team effort. And that's why you should listen to your producer.
Damn. God made a nigga like Martin Luther King who did so much and changed the world. And he also created a nigga like Epstein who was like the lowest of the low, you know, and they come from the same source. And it was just a realization to me of like, damn, you really like free will, you know. You could go either way in this world. And it's not just them, you know, like that's why I believe this outrage is fake, because niggas, we
this dude still believes the outrage is fake. Tone deaf. Tone deaf. Tone deaf. Tone deaf. Tone deaf. Tone deaf. He still thinks the outrage is fake. He still doesn't see an issue with using Dr. King and Malcolm X in that way. That's real talk. John Colby said being checked is not outrage. Right. Being checked is not outrage. It's just being checked. But this new world, they can't take it. That's why I don't even know. Even if I wanted to get back into music, I probably couldn't. Because like it's a lot of people I know who's still into music real heavy. And I hear all the time, these new younger musicians, you can't check them. You got to like talk real nice to them. And I don't believe in that. I believe when it's time to get the mission done, you got to get the mission done. It ain't time. Now, you don't be disrespectful. But if somebody messing up, you got to be able to say, hey, look, John, James, Sam, Cheryl, Ebony, whatever your name is, you're fucking up. Get it together. We should never get so sensitive. We can't get that when we out of step and when we out of bounds.
We know niggas who murderers, serial killers, and we like free them. We know niggas who pimping and sex trafficking, and we like free them.
We know niggas that are murderers. First off, I don't know any serial killers. The chat room, do y'all know any serial killers? I don't know any murderers. Anybody? If somebody murders somebody, I don't know them. Them niggas never told me they murdered somebody. Chat room, how many of y'all know murders and serial killers? How many? What do y'all say? How many of y'all in the chat know murderers and serial killers? I don't. And if somebody I do know murder somebody, I for damn sure wouldn't say free him. And nobody I know. I remember what my grandma used to tell me. My grandmother used to always tell me, if you love me, you ain't gonna go to jail. She would always say, don't commit a crime and then say, oh, come see me. My grandma would always say, I'm not gonna come see you if you go to jail. If you love me that much, you will keep your ass out of jail. And she didn't. When a couple of her grandbabies went to jail, our grandmama didn't go see them. And she loved them too. She loved them. Ain't nobody saying free a serial killer. And those of us who do know somebody that murdered somebody, if you do, well, I found out one of my cousins was a murderer after he died. Like I found that shit out at his funeral. Because it was two different cousins. I was like, damn, Cuzzo was like that? But I also wasn't around his ass when they was alive too. Last time we kicked it close was in high school. But when I did find out, it was like, huh? Damn. And if I knew he murdered somebody when he was alive and he got locked up, I'd have been like, well, keep his ass up locked up then. Shit. Well, I do got this one other cousin, but I didn't know him like that in Texas. I got a cousin in Texas that went to prison for murder. I think he was in there for 25, 26 years. He served his time and he's out now. And from what I hear from my other cousins in Texas, he's been out now for like 5 since the pandemic, and he's been doing good. That man served his time, but not at one point when he was locked up did I say free him. I said, hell no, that nigga killed somebody. Whatever the judge say he deserves is what he deserves. See, what's one thing I like about self-righteousness? Self-righteousness and being self-righteous, you'll compare the bottom of the bottom, the lowest of the low, to the best of the best out of your self-righteousness. Yeah, that's basically what he's saying. Basically, he's saying black people are degenerates. Maybe it's his group of trashy ass black people he's hanging around, but majority of black people are decent people, right? Right. People always want to throw your back is on the wall. See, this one nothing I don't like. When your back is on the wall, you want to throw all of us. Who's Bootleg Kev? Is Bootleg Kev a white dude? He look white to me. He look white to me. Chat room, is Bootleg Kev white? Your back is against the wall, and you go on a white dude's podcast and throw black people against the wall. That right there, brother, is a sign of a lack of character. That's Pee Wee Herman shit. I know you are, but what am I? Y'all even got a similar laugh to Pee Wee Herman. Y'all remember that Pee Wee Herman laugh? I know you are, but what am I? That's what he's doing right now. You going to a white dude to talk about black people because black people are checking you because of your false comparisons to our icons. All the way off code.
Niggas' uncles and they daddies got, and it's like free them.
Right.
You know, but me saying, damn.
Nah, my uncle's, only thing my uncle did was chase Jim Kelly around town and try to whoop his ass in a karate tournament after Chuck Norris got him his brown belt. That's the only thing my uncles did. My dad didn't kill nobody. So they did. They went in karate tournaments in the 70s when they was running the streets. My dad and my uncles was running the streets, getting in karate tournaments and low riding. My dad's a low rider. That's what my dad and uncles was doing. I don't know what you talking about there, brother.
God made me and he made this sick ass nigga is a problem. That's not me being complicit. That's me just having the realization of like, bro.
That's not deep. That's what I mean by people like that fake deep stuff, man. I don't know. Christopher Ellis in the super chat. I truly believe these people, these type of folks project and speak their low vibrational nature. He could also be auditioning for the next tool of white supremacy. That's a good point, Christopher Ellis. That's a good point. That's a good point. It's a damn good point.
Is a problem. That's not me being complicit. That's me just having the realization of like, bro, you really gotta choose what you gonna do with your life and what path you gonna lead.
People have every right to feel however they feel.
You in your 30s and you just now realizing you got free will? That's not a deep point, brother. That's what I mean by people, the fake deepness. That's not deep. That's like Drake level deep.
fuck off. Like, you don't have to like it.
You know, even in the verse that's posted, like I say, I'm not perfect and neither is the president. What's guiltier than a nigga hiding evidence? I'm talking about them.
No shit, yeah.
Even the devil was heaven sent. You know, like this is the realization of like, damn, like that's not complicity. That's just like, this is the real world. What's guiltier than a nigga hiding evidence? That's me saying these niggas guilty.
Art is subjective. Now, whether they're not people can say, I don't like the art.
Yes, that is saying you say they're guilty. You still haven't gotten to the point. You brought up Dr. King and Malcolm X and put them in the same sentence. You just don't do that. And you said heaven sent, not God created. No, they were being created by God, and sent from heaven are completely different sentiments. Sent from heaven is something that you did. That's a term that is used for the highest level of love. Yes, we're all created by God. And people have been saying, making music since the beginning of time about us being created by God. When people say you're heaven sent, that means special. That means you're a cut above. That's a love song. That's sweetness. That's showing love and kindness and acceptance and love. Just like if you talk about somebody's a demon from hell. Both the little demons from the pits of hell and heaven sent are created by the same person. The difference is context. See, brothers like LaRussell lack context. That's what he's missing, is context and perspective. Everybody's created from God. When you're talking about heaven, you better be sounding like this. Heavenly, heavenly. That's the context of heaven. You want to talk about heaven? It got to be in this context right here. When you're talking about heaven, that's the context you speak of heaven in. If you're going to talk about heaven, talk about heaven, that's how you talk about heaven. That's how you talk about heaven, brother. Hell, you can even go to Tavares. Heaven must be missing an angel. Must be missing an angel. That's the context of heaven, young man. Or you can talk about the devil. Different key. You dig? For a slice of the devil's pie. Totally different context. Totally different context. You don't say both sides, the opposite sides of the equations are both sent from heaven. You said that they're created by God. if you want to, this is the example. If you want to question and question heaven and question the best song, if you're going to talk about questioning what's going on with heaven, you got to go to Stevie 1 zillion light years away. And just a pure at heart will walk her righteous streets one day. They say that heaven is 10 zillion light years away. But if there's a God, we need him now. Where is your God? That's what my friends ask me. And I say it's taking him so long because we got so far to come.
I say it's taking him so long because we've got so far to come.
That's how you introduce heaven into the context of music, heaven and hell. You don't say Martin Luther King and Malcolm X are sent from the same heaven, are both from heaven with these guys. The brother's lacking for real. He's lacking for real nuance. And nuance is what's missing from society these days. Everybody just so flatline. Not everybody. Too many people just flat. Just, oh, it's all the same. No, it's not. Nuance matters.
And that's fine.
Yeah.
Like, you know what? I didn't like the way he communicated that. It made me feel some type of way.
And why is this white dude talking? Well, it's his show, so he should be talking. But why are you talking to him? All these black podcasts you could have run to. That's where you run to? It ain't looking good, folks. And y'all know me, I've been sticking with LaRussell. Even though I don't really like his music. And that's another big thing. LaRussell ain't got the hits to be taught playing this monkey bullshit. Like, you don't got the hits for that. People dealt with Kanye because no matter how you feel about it's like no matter how, like, it's like no matter how you feel about Kanye, he still released this. That's a magnum opus right there. So Kanye got years of equity of saying bullshit. Because he created da-da-da-da, feeling like I ever felt before today.
Jesse Jackson on the balcony when King got killed. I survived a lot.
When you release that, people will play around. People will let you play around for a few years. When you release some hot shit like that, yeah, people be like, man, that nigga's on some bullshit. But these are his beat. This is B side, and he. When you can flip this song by the whatnots, when you do that. That was a flip that he did on this song by the Whatnots. I love that song late. He sped this up. Ha 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 ha. When you can flip that, you got a few years of bullshit. So we could be a little bit biased. Yeah. Thanos. Appreciate the super chat, brother. Appreciate the contributions. So yeah, Kanye did Jesus walk before he left. So LaRussell, no, that wasn't it, dog. That was not it. Humble yourself and listen. Listen to the people. The people is what's push you to the top. The people also the ones that can pull that rug too. So all this doubling down, just listen, dog. That's all I gotta say to that. On to the next story. I told y'all, didn't I, earlier in chat? This dude must be watching later on in the program. Somebody said, he's from Vallejo, not Oakland. I literally, I said the Bay. That's why I said the Bay Area. Because I ain't trying to get all into y'all neutral, all y'all nuances up there. I don't know y'all cultural nuances in the Bay. The Bay and LA are completely different. And I don't know, nor do I care. The same reason why I don't know LA gang Mason-Dixon lines. I don't know what street separates the 40s from the 60s. I drive past the motherfuckers every day. As a matter of fact, I was in the 40s hood today and the 60s hood. And I'd imagine I was in A-Trace hood because I was off Western 8. I don't know which line goes from this hood to that hood and all the hood. And plus, I don't know the major hoods. I know the 60s. I know the 40s because they both are my neighborhoods I was always in. I know the shotguns. I know some of the East Coast, but I don't know which East. I know probably like 5 hoods are in LA. And I can't tell you where they start nor where they end. You know why? I don't give a fuck. I wear neutral colored clothes. I don't wear baseball caps. And I mind my own black ass business. So I don't know. All y'all want to come in with y'all city street nuances. I don't know. Nor do I give a fuck. We black. That's all I know. We black American. If you're in Memphis, Tupelo, Mississippi, Natchez, Mississippi, Paw Paw, Michigan, whether you're in Pittsburgh, Seattle, Oakland, LA, Vegas, you black. Fuck all that regional banging. And here's the reason why I say fuck regional banging and all that stuff. Because look at what we have right here. You know, every year there's a march on the Edmund Pettus Bridge to memorialize what happened when John Lewis and all those people, and a lot of women got beat more than John Lewis. Because those suck-ass cops went right for the women. And those black people got beat for marching across that bridge. They were doing that for civil rights for black Americans. And by extension, immigrants got the right to come to America. Now you got, instead of the Somalis in Minnesota coming to support black America, they coming for their piece of the pie too. And they turned around and used that Selma march to bring attention to immigrant rights. Y'all heard it. Yeah. Y'all heard it. I had a video up. Let me see what that video is. Because I had a video up that ain't up no more. Let me pull this video back up, see if I can find it. Where the fuck did it go? I hate when this shit happens. I had a video I wanted to show y'all of the march. I can't believe this shit. I had the shit queued up. Here we go. Look at this.
To us and now. That's right. This is our moment because our time has come to defend our rights. Yes, this is one step in that great legacy. Let's march with solemnity. Keep hope alive! Keep hope alive! Keep hope alive! Keep hope alive!
They're not even in rhythm.
Keep hope alive! Keep hope alive!
They're all off beat.
Keep hope alive! Keep hope alive!
Women's.
Keep hope alive! Keep hope alive!
You got the women's folks.
Se siente, Minnesota está presente. Se ve, se siente, Minnesota está
They're
presente.
talking about Minnesota.
Se siente, Minnesota está presente. Se ve, se siente.
And they speaking in Spanish.
Está presente.
Somebody! Somebody! Somebody!
This is the most flavorless raising Minnesota immigrants' rights are human. This is the thing. Let's keep going. And who's this? I keep seeing this dude everywhere, looking like the crackhead from the PJs. Who's this motherfucker right here? I be seeing him everywhere. The crackhead from the PJs.
We shall overcome someday. But the movement is transformed from them and then to us and now. That's right. This is our moment because our time has come to defend our rights. Yes, this is one step.
Chat room, shut up, chat room. Shut up. This nigga salute said, they said no scamming, no peace. The nigga said no scamming, no peace. See, this is why we have to get on code. This is so disrespectful. And the women's too. Y'all listen, women's rights. Black men are even though a lot of black women got beat, that was a black male led march. And everybody got beat together, men and women. It's high time, and I think the only person that can step up and say this is a black man. Black men are the primary targets of white supremacy. All of these protests come from who? Emmett Till, a black man getting murdered, Emmett Till. And I don't like playing the sexism game too much. I don't like playing that game. But let's just deal with the facts. It was a black man that started that kicked off the civil rights movement of between 55 and 65. It was a black man, Emmett Till, that got murdered. And it was a black man named T.R.M. Howard who paid the money for Jet Magazine to come down and to take those photos of what happened to that young man's body. It's always black men. Last hired, first fired. The primary targets of murder. And everybody else used that to siphon off civil rights for themselves. I understand white women doing it, but black women, cut it out. It's high time black women cut that shit out. Well, misogynoir and misogyny and misogynoir. Shut up with that misogynoir talk. Y'all mad that y'all not getting jobs? Y'all 300,000 of y'all got laid off from the government? Well, shit. Well, goddamn it. Black men started getting laid off from the government jobs back in the 80s. We ain't got time for all that black women shit, black man shit. It's black people as a unit. We ain't got time for regional beefing, and we ain't got time for no splits between women and men. We need to come together like a fist. The reason why the 60s was so effective is because black women at that time were not infiltrated by the women's suffrage movement. And they knew to stick by us, not by them. You saw that? And I'm bringing up black women because of this video and the immigrants. Why? Let's go back. Let's go back to why I said that. Let's go back to why I said that.
Keep hope alive. Keep hope alive. Keep hope alive.
They're all off beat.
Keep hope alive. Keep hope alive. Keep hope alive. Keep hope alive.
Right here. SCLC women's movement. No, it's just black people. There's no separation between men and women and children. Because while y'all talking about all this, what about the kids? Y'all got sons. You want to end patriarchy? Start it with the next generation. That's how you do it. Women, y'all got all the power. It's like these white women that complain about patriarchy. All they got to do is raise better sons. Y'all let these white women get y'all in this argument. And all they got to do is fucking give their kids some home fucking training. Teach your kids to love themselves and to love others. You won't have patriarchy. Y'all the primary voice of the children. The women shape the opinion of the children. All that women shit can get knocked out in one generation. Raise sons the way my mama raised me. My mama lived a life of respect, lives a life of respect. My grandmother lives a life of respect. And I was able to get a respectful woman through how my mama and my grandmama lived. Why don't y'all do the same? Stop all that. Stop it. Cut it out. Cut it out. Because it's opening a door. Now, after the women, the black men and the women are divided, now the LGBTQ can come in and say, hey, civil rights. Now people in Minnesota who don't even fuck with black people, black Americans, I should say, from what I heard from people that follow me that are in the Minnesota region, they don't even fuck with us like that. They can come in and do this. Same story with the hip hop talk. Man, you from the West Coast, you can't say nothing about the South. Shut the fuck up. Yes, I can. We are a family. We are a family. We're one. Black man, woman, and child. From the South to the Midwest to the upper Northeast to the West Coast. And all points in between. Other groups can siphon off our heat through our divisions. The division of New York versus everybody, that mindset is what allowed tethers to metastasize in New York and be comfortable drawing a division between black American culture and hip hop. It started with regional beef. It started with regionalism. Regionalism is how it got cut off. Regionalism is how they try to cut off jazz. But the jazz people are at least smart enough to not buy all the way into the regionalism. Them saying, oh, jazz came from New Orleans because that's where the French and the Caribbeans were. Ah! Where the fuck is jazz in France and Haiti? Don't exist. But they use that schism to slide people up in there and take our whole cultural heritage. When are you dumb niggas gonna get this shit in y'all thick ass skulls? That's the method as to how the door is opened to get these people through our own inner divisions. That's how we open the door, when we create the divide. When we create the divide, they take that old term, give somebody an inch, they take a mile. Well, there you have it. Give these jive suckers an inch, they gonna take a mile. Oh, don't get me into this Magic Johnson's son thing. I was going to talk about that probably tonight on my late night live. Y'all heard Magic Johnson's son. We'll get into that. And we're going to talk about this Jaylen Brown too on I forgot to tell you, tomorrow on Patreon, we're gonna talk about Jaylen Brown. Talked about how he uses numerology to learn how to communicate with his teammates. Well, tomorrow on Patreon, we're gonna break down what Jaylen Brown said, and then we're gonna use the cards to show you how to communicate with other people. That's gonna be tomorrow's Patreon, 10 in the morning, on the card reading tier. Patreon tomorrow, 10 a.m. We're gonna cover Jaylen Brown and what he talked about, how to use numbers to break down how people communicate. It's a very fun thing to do. I encourage y'all to buy this book right here, by Lloyd Strayhorn, Numbers in You. This is a great book to break down what Jaylen Brown's talking about. So we going on Patreon tomorrow, and actually it's not gonna be on. It's gonna be on Patreon and on YouTube, but I'm only taking questions from Patreon. That's how we're gonna do it. I'm only gonna be taking questions and communication questions through Patreon tomorrow. I wasn't taking no calls, but I'll take it. What's up, caller? What's the name? Where you calling from?
Hey, bro, I'm not trying to interrupt your flow or anything, bro. I just heard you bring up Jaylen Brown with the numerology thing. So, yo, check this, bro. I want to send it to you. I could send it to you for free, but I just published my first book, bro, and it kind of has something to do with that. But it has some insights with some cards and stuff, but it has to do with AI. But I really wanted you to check it out because I heard you mention some stuff like that before.
Oh yeah,
but that was it though, bro.
For sure, email contact@thewanb.com.
Cause I emailed you like a couple days ago.
Okay, I'll go back and check it. I did get some emails from some books. I'll check it out, but I'm not gonna. I'll just be honest. I'm probably not gonna read it right away because I'm in deep research writing my book, and I'm laser focused on like writing my book right now and my music history. So all the hours I'm spending reading right now going into that right now. But still send it, and I'll get around to it when I break my concentration from this book.
Yeah, because I know you writing yours, bro. This shit took longer than I thought, but when you do, I know it's gonna be something that's gonna catch your attention. That's why I know it's gonna be some shit for you. That's why.
Yeah, send it to me. But I'm just being honest. Like right now, I'm so focused on my book right now. Only thing I'm reading right now is history and music.
Okay. All right. Cool, bro. But I can't wait for yours to come out, though, bro.
For sure, man. I appreciate it, brother.
All right.
Have a good one. Yeah, I'm focused. And a few of you guys have emailed me different things, and I would love to get to it, but I'm telling y'all right now, I am so knee deep in my book right now. I ain't reading nothing. Like, I'm over here. I still, when I get to my section on bebop, I still got to finish this book. I read most of it, but this is Dizzy Gillespie's memoirs. A lot of the stuff that I'm getting like on Afro-Cuban music and what, I'm getting a lot of that out of this book, To Be or Not to Bop. I'm also reading books because I'm adding time and context to my book. I'm also reading books like this about the domestic slave trade in America to show how black people were transported within the country. And so a lot of my music history, when I'm talking about the relationship black people have to our music, the reason why I could talk to y'all so strongly about what went on in DC and tell you without a doubt there's no fucking French or Haitian influence on jazz is because I understand the migrations of black people in the South in New Orleans through books like this. Carry Me Back to Domestic Slave Trade, Up on These Shores. So I'm trying to give you guys a 360-degree point of view on Black American music and why it's centered here and not Africa. So I'm telling y'all right now, if y'all send me something to read, I probably won't read it for a few months, but I will read it. But that shit won't be until I'm done with this book. Let me see. But we're gonna talk about Magic Johnson's son. Y'all heard that shit Magic Johnson's son said? I was gonna talk about this shit's disgusting.
attracted
Listen to
to
this
gay
shit he
men.
said.
Like it's just
This
not.
is disgusting. But go ahead. Let's listen to this real quick.
I don't attract gay men, and I'm not attracted to gay men. Like it's just not a thing.
Tell me more about that.
You know, it's just, I think like if you ask any of the girls, like they'll tell you the same. And I think they're just labels. You know, that's what, like, I don't care what, you know, like I'm dating someone. I'm like, I don't care what you identify as or what you call yourself, as long as you're happy being who you are. But no, but to be honest, it's like, that's why I don't go to gay clubs. I don't go to, you know, gay things, because it's like the men that I attract are not there. And also like, they're like, you know, they kind of like wave you off. You're just like, oh, that, you know, hey girl, like, you know, it's not, you're not in here like the rest of us are. You know, it's just, it's always, but it's, I never really understood it until now, because before when I would go and I just was like, there's something about this room. It's like, it's almost like they don't want me here. Like I'm not really in it here because I'm not presenting as a man. I'm not presenting in that way.
And to be clear, the gay community room.
Yeah.
Your own community. Yeah.
But it's not like a shameful thing or just like, oh, they're mean to me. But it's like, these are not my men in terms of attraction. Now, if I'm just going to have a kiki, sure. But like, these are not the men that are interested in me in that capacity. I do that when I go to the straight rooms.
This dude said that, and don't be this stupid, applies to him too. We're not about to change, and we're going to talk about this later on my late night live. We're going to talk about this tonight on the late night live. Felix Speaks, you going to be there? Y'all going to be there, Pat? Everybody going to be there tonight, probably about 10 o'clock Pacific time. Sometime between 10 and 11 Pacific time, we're going to talk more about this tonight. But straight is straight. And this goes to all you download homies. Y'all download dudes. No disrespect to y'all. But y'all ain't straight. Y'all gay. And there's nothing wrong with that. Look, we are way past the time, you know, of people being like, ew. Like, no, and some people are still like that. And if they are like that, so what? Some people say ew when they see a fat nigga like me. Some people think being fat is icky. So, hey, whatever. Join the party. Hell, half you gay niggas think being fat is icky. Hey, you try to clown a gay dude, you be like, man, you little gay motherfucker. All the gay person gotta do is like, whatever, fat ass. And y'all win the joking contest. Everybody got something that they think is icky. Alright? But you not straight. If you got shit stains in the front and the back of your drawers, you ain't straight. If you are like that dude Tank, and remember when Tank said, you gotta try it at least twice. If you tried it one time, voluntarily, you gay. Period. There's only one straight. The minute you take something straight, the minute you take a piece of paper and fold it, it's now permanently creased. You can pull the motherfucker back out. You can do, it ain't straight no more. We ain't about to be changing no definitions of straight, because where the hell of us straight people gonna go? There's no other way than straight. Anytime you get Andrew Gillum activities, if you need to put caboose lube on a boopty bop before you boopty bop, then you gay. Cause I saw like on the Joe Budden show, they were trying to go at one of the dudes for his definition. I saw that and I was like, man, Here. I'm not gonna play it all.
We see things is how we see things. And it's not saying that you can't live life the way that you want it to live. But when we're using certain words that we feel have clear definitions, right?
Yeah.
Our feeling. It's not a fact, whatever. It's all opinion, right? Mm-hmm. Where's the middle ground for everyone to be heard and understood and not seem like now you're stepping on someone's beliefs? Because this is our beliefs.
Because it's a self thing. You can speak for yourself.
It's all a self thing.
Right, but if EJ says that EJ likes straight men, that's what EJ says about straight men.
And it's a lesbian broad saying this.
If you know that your straight ass is not going to be in any situation with nothing else but a cisgender woman, then that's...
She said cisgender woman. No, straight woman. There are no cisgender women. There are straight women. There are no cisgender men. There are straight men. We straight people do not accept the term. You're not going to relabel us to cisgender. Sissy. If you call me cisgendered, I'm calling you a sissy. Period. You don't like the name sissy? Then don't call me cisgender. I'm only calling you a sissy if you call me cis. I'm straight. And if you try to relabel straight to cisgender, then use a motherfucking sissy.
Guess what?
And for me, that's what kept me to not sounding ignorant on the internet or whenever I got a platform.
EJ used the word and he had y'all assume what he meant by it. We had no clear indication what he meant by straight. Sure. Y'all assumed for him.
So we're not straight.
But why do we have to?
Yeah,
I think
Joe Budden. We done all heard about Joe Budden. Why do we have to? Because Joe Budden, we want to draw a clear line between us and men like that have been accused of what you've been accused of. That's why. Straight means you ain't no pedophile. You don't like little kids. Straight mean you don't like little boys. Straight mean you don't like grown boys. Straight mean you like the adult version of the opposite sex. That's what straight is. People who only have intercourse with the adult version of the opposite sex. Doesn't matter how you feel about it. Again, going back to not being stupid. See, straight people, we are going to have to stand 10 toes down on that. Someone said, magic? Wow, what a pass. Yeah, no. We're not going to get off that. No. It's time. Straight folks, stand 10 toes down. You guys can be wherever the hell y'all want to be. And I ain't getting in y'all way. But what you're not going to do is relabel what the fuck I am. That's what you're not going to do. I got jokes for y'all too, and I ain't afraid. No, man, I'm cracking. I believe in cracking jokes. Oh, you don't like being called that? Then don't call me cisgender then. I'm straight. Or we'll bring back all the jokes that we had back in the 7th grade, goddammit. Which one do you want? Either leave us alone, or we can go back to the 7th grade if you want to go back to naming shit. What's up, Big Pontiac? I think it's that simple. Leave us the fuck alone, or let's go back to the 7th grade with these jokes. Because you ain't about to relabel me. Sis nothing. And you ain't about to relabel straight. Straight is straight. And you can live your life, and I can live my life, and we can have a mutual respect for one another and live in our separate worlds. All right? If you ever had booty dust on your Johnson, then you ain't straight. And that's fine. This world is made for all men in all varieties. But you ain't about to call pink blue and blue yellow. That's not about to happen. All right? But we're going to talk more about that later on the late night live tip, all right? Thank y'all again for listening. Rest in peace, Chuck Norris, my father's karate teacher. Rest in peace. Go to bandfamilytree.org and all that good stuff, all right? Y'all have a good one. We out.